Let me thank the chairman and ranking member and also thank our witnesses today. Let me just say as a preliminary matter, as a person who practiced law for many years representing victims of discrimination, I certainly am sympathetic to the plight you all are facing. I don't know who's right or who's wrong, but I will say this. I do not believe there's any chance that you would be here making your case if there was not an overarching objective to undermine the credibility of the mission of the CFPB. From your point of view, it's like, well, so what? Because I need to get my case vindicated, and I respect that. But I just want to ask you, do you, both of you, support the mission of the CFPB?
Absolutely, 100% we support the mission.
All right, thank you. And it's a good mission, and it should not be undermined. And would you view it as a tragedy if people took your testimony here today to try to do damage to the institution? What you're looking for is justice for yourself and others who you feel are aggrieved. Am I right?
Well, I am not so much looking for individual justice.
Ma'am, really, I only got 5 minutes, and I'm a polite person, but when it's 3:49, I got to be that way.
Okay. So I just want to clarify that my presence here today is not about a singular complaint. It's about systemic discrimination.
Right.
And I support the mission of the CFPB very strongly.
Have you ever heard of the Office of Special Counsel?
Yes.
You ever heard of the Office of Inspector General?
Yes.
These are institutions that you can make complaints to, is that right?
Yes.
And so for somebody to submit that there is no other place for you to go to other than this body, that's actually not accurate. Wouldn't you agree?
No.
Oh, you say this is the only place you can go to?
Yeah, because you're too scared to go to those other places, because when they find out, they continue the retaliation.
Well, I mean, let me tell you, I've represented literally hundreds of people who've been targets of discrimination, and they're all scared. I've never met somebody who wasn't a little worried about bringing a case.
Okay.
Suing the police, whatever it is, you have to, if you have a case of discrimination, sometimes you just got to make the argument. And I would say that's why people like Ms. Martin and others, I think, have demonstrated courage. But you cannot tell me that, as a matter of fact, these institutions do not exist, do not take complaints, and to submit that this is the only place you can go is a factual inaccuracy. And you may not want to admit that, but it's true.
Okay.
Now, look, the CFPB is accused of discrimination. Those matters will be worked out in their own time. I make no case about who's right or who's wrong, but the truth is, actually, Mr. Caldwell, you've been accused of discriminating yourself. Isn't that right?
It's discriminating against?
Have you been targeted of discrimination? Have you been
target of discrimination? Yes.
Have you been alleged to have discriminated?
Yes.
When was that? When did that happen?
I don't know when it actually happened. I get bits and pieces here and there.
What were the allegations against you, sir?
That I mistreat women, apparently.
Okay. And what's your opinion about the validity of those allegations?
Well, everybody's got their own reasons. It's an internal fight.
What's your opinion about the validity of those allegations?
Oh, I don't think they're valid at all.
So sometimes people make allegations that others may not believe are valid, right?
That is true.
And so that's why you get plaintiff, you get defendant, you get the complainant, and you get the other side, and there's a process to work it out, right? Because you yourself were accused of discriminating against women, and you say you didn't do it, and even you should be able to make your claim as to why these allegations are false, right?
That's correct.
Let me ask you this. Did you send an email out in connection with your complaint against the CFPB?
Mr. Ellison, are you speaking with me?
Speaking to Mr. Caldwell.
An email to?
Well, let me just ask. Do you recall, I'm going to direct your attention to the screen. Did you send out an email on December 9th, 2013, in which you said, and if you are thinking I am angry, I am not, I never get angry, but I will get even. Did you write that in an email?
Yes.
Who are you going to get even with?
Let me check the email very carefully. I believe that was to NTEU and not to the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau.
Who are you going to get even with?
The NTU for not taking our cause seriously.
Are you the president?
Yes. And we're allowed to disagree with the NTU on occasion, and we have to work it out.
So by even, what did you mean? You're going to get revenge?
No.
I think my time's a little bit over.
The gentleman's time has
Yield back.
expired.